Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Welcome to Etc. Live. I'm your host, Kelly Barrett. Super excited for my guest today. These guys are personal friends of mine. Aside from that, they are one of Alberta's premier recording artists. The Tyrants of Chaos are in the house. Hey guys.
What's up? Hey, Kelly.
Hey, thanks for being here. Thank you. So we have just introduced you from the top there. We've got Phil on the left and Ryan on the right. Hey guys.
How's it going?
Hey, and we've got Eric and Curtis on the bottom.
Hello.
And Sean is the bass player. Who is Sean in the house?
Yeah, his representative here.
Reps here tonight.
Yeah.
There's Sean at the bottom of the screen. That's Sean's representative, Sips. Sean couldn't be here today because he's in rehab. Is he in rehab, I think?
Could be.
No, he's not in rehab. He's at that nudist colony weekend. Sorry, Sean, if you're not here, you're going to get messed with.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Actually, in all actuality, it's Sean's son's birthday today, so he's spending family time, and we totally respect that. So, a big shout out to Sean. So, why don't we go ahead and I'll just get you guys to introduce yourself. Phil, we'll start with you. You are, of course, the amazing singer of the Tyrants. Go ahead and just tell us a bit about yourself. How long you've been in the biz, and that's
I mean, I've been playing music pretty much all my life, really. Like my mom put us in piano lessons as little kids, all the way, high school band, like right from the beginning. And I've just always had a passion for music. So, 16 years old is when I really wanted to start singing. So I've been singing for, 25 years kind of thing, right?
Right.
So,
and how old were you when you first had that voice? Because you've got a voice, my friend. How old were you when you thought?
You know what? It's hard to answer that question because I always push to get better, right? So you could take, just for example, our previous albums, and you can hear the difference between those three. So, I mean, I still am trying to get, like, I'm my worst critic. So I always say, I wasn't good back then a few years ago, right? And so I don't know. It's tough to say because I'm always trying to get better, right? So
of course,
I don't think that I have that. I don't think that I've achieved but that's just my own personal, I don't know.
Right. Just always striving to be better.
Exactly. So, I mean, I guess, when I first started singing, like wanting to sing like that, again, I've always played music as a little kid. I was, my brothers are older than me, and I filled in playing drums, doing gigs with them, and but listening to old Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, 16 years old, I'm like, I want to do that. Like, it was just, I love to sing always, so it was just a passion. So I know when I was 20 years old, I guess you could say I could sing like that, but I think I always get better every day that I work at it. So.
Right. And you guys work hard at it. There's a lot of practices, it's like a weekly practice. And I'm wondering, Phil, like I just posted today on Facebook, a clip of you holding a note for like 1,000 seconds or something. It's incredible.
I don't know if it was that long, but
how long can the human voice hold a note? Well, if you're Phil, pretty freaking long time. And did you always have that, or is that something that you've worked out over the years?
Well, I guess it's just all, listening to like guys like Ripper Owens and Rob Halford. I mean, they did the same thing, really. I mean, they were doing it long before I was, right?
Right.
But because, they were generations before me, again, I'm always, I want to get better and better and better, right? To be a point where the young up and inspiring singers, they can look at me and say, I want to be better than that guy.
Right.
And then it's just a progression that you're always getting better, right? You're always raising that bar. So yeah, I don't know. It's a technique too, right? A lot of it is technique. So when you hear that, there's really a lot of like breathing technique and a proper way to do that. Like you can't just belt the note out like that and hold it. There's a very trained, specific way that you do that, right? So when you know how to do that and you've worked on that for years and years and years, it just comes a lot more naturally to do that. It's easier to do.
Right. Yeah, why not? How did you get started?
I heard you.
Audio kind of blurry.
Yeah, it's okay. I got you. I started at a pretty young age myself on the edge of a waterbed, banging out old Maiden, air drumming to some old Dio. Well, even before that, Black Sabbath, and kind of moved on from there to finally getting in bands when I was underage and sneak into bars to play, and haven't really stopped. I mean, and next year is the big birthday for me, and I haven't really slowed down at all. So a lot of influences. I go from jazz to just rock, country. Unfortunately, play a little bit, and then with Tyrants, my boys and Tyrants here with doing original music is where I kind of really can grasp that and say, how can I improve my drumming to the maximum I can, which is a big thing with our brother Eric that's upstairs at our house here. Is he's a awesome drummer himself, and I've learned a lot from him. And our new album is going to really show our talents for sure. So I haven't really slowed down. I've always been drumming. Used to teach a lot of drum lessons back in the day, and just kind of all around music wise for me is a big thing. And with these, I guess Saki and the other three here that are here today is I mean, they influence me big time to push as hard as I can be, right? So
Right. I think you feed off each other. I think that you feed off each other when you have that kind of energy and you just
exactly. Yeah.
inspire each other and you lift each other, to improve and that sort of thing. And hey, Eric, how about you, my friend? What's the Eric story?
Here we go.
Oh, the Eric story. Oh, let's see. I grew up in a household that had a lot of music, a lot of 80s hard rock, heavy metal, that kind of stuff. And, just watching music videos and, hanging out with mom because she always had all that stuff going. AC/DC, Def Leppard, Metallica, right? And my old man, he played a little bit of guitar and drums, and he still had a drum kit in the house when I was about 12 years old, when I really took interest to it. And looking back through old photos, it's kind of cool because there's plenty of pictures of me as a kid with a guitar strapped to me, right? So I guess I was just kind of doomed to, something with that, I guess. But so yeah, about 12, I picked up the drums, and remember my dad told me one day, he's like, yeah, you're starting to get pretty good at that because I'm able to fall asleep listening to you now. First, just, bad way random. So I'd hit the drums. I'd come home from school every day and hit the drums for maybe 2-3 hours a day, every day. And then started getting into guitar when I was about, I've played in bands since I was 14, and I've never been I've taken a break from performing with back since I was 14. If it wasn't guitar, it was drums. My previous band to this one was called Cast of Shadows, and I played drums in that for about 7 years. And I actually played some shows with this band before I was in the band. I joined these guys in 2018, just after a car accident that I had. So it was kind of hard to actually put a guitar on for a while because when the seatbelt caught you, right, it kind of buggered my shoulder up. So it was, a little bit later in the year when we started recording when I could actually hold a guitar on my shoulder properly.
And you do a lot of the writing too, Eric. You do a lot of the songwriting too. We're going to get to that in a little bit when we start talking about the album.
Yeah, I don't really consider myself like an extremely knowledgeable or technically proficient guitar player. Like especially when it comes to playing lead guitar stuff, I'm good at coming up with melodies and rhythms and riffs and building a song. So I kind of more so pride myself on being able to structure something well, like put together a well-structured song. I'm not a lyricist. Phil does an excellent job with that. So I'm very thankful for that because that is not my department whatsoever. We got a guy that's really good at that. But I think part of the joy of it for me is really just creating, putting something together, bringing something into the world that wasn't here before. I think that's a really cool thing to do. And if there are other people that appreciate that, that's really awesome and really rewarding. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to add on that.
No, that's great stuff, Sean and Eric. And I was just saying, speaking of Sean, I have a few questions for him. I don't know if his representative can answer this or not. But Sean, stand up a little taller, my friend. When did you start playing bass, Sean?
Well, Sean told me that he was about 17 and he saw Steve Harris in Iron Maiden, and that blew his mind. And ever since then, he's just been totally into it.
You sound just like him.
That's what they tell me, Kelly.
And Sean, so what is it about metal that you love?
I love the rhythm. I love the singing, and I really just love that sort of British that. I forget. Kelly, your beauty is making it hard for me.
Don't sock, you're losing your hair.
For me to think because of your beauty.
Well, thank you, Sock. Okay, well, we'll ask you one more question, and we'll give your knees a break, Toby. So, Sean, where do you see the Tyrants in a few years? In a perfect world, where would the Tyrants be, say, 5 years?
That's a tough one. Tyrants are just going to get bigger and better, and they'll probably be, doing a European tour soon. So, sky's the limit, Cal. Sky's the limit.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sean, and thank you, Sean / Toby. And good job. First puppet ever on Etc. Awesome. Curtis, over to you, my friend. Tell us a bit about how you got your start.
Well, it was like I come from a musical family. My mom's side of the family, it was like 12 kids, and they all played some sort of instrument type of thing. So we all had to take music lessons when we were younger. So I started playing when I was 5, and pretty much hated it the whole time. But
right, because you have to practice, and no kid wants to do it.
Yeah, and then when I was like 12 or 13, and chicks started going, "Hey, you play guitar?" I was like, "Yeah, I play guitar." And then from there, it was just played in a couple local bands. And when I was 17, moved to Toronto with a band called Angel Beast. We're a bunch of guys from school, and did a couple EPs out there, and played around Ontario and somewhere in the eastern states and stuff, and just have been doing it ever since.
Right. And so how did you join the Tyrants? Like, when did this group of the Tyrants that we see now, when did you guys all come together?
Well, it just kind of happened over time. I was asked to, when I got back, there were a couple guys that kept bugging me to come jam with them, and they just kept hounding me. And I was like, finally, okay. So they shot me set with 10 songs, and so I learned them and went and practiced with them, and it sounded really good, and that became what was called Rock Fist, and we just did cover tunes, 80s cover tunes, and then over that, it was just one guy left and another guy left, and people came in, and
as happens, right? That happens, yeah.
Yeah, and then it just kind of evolved to what it is now, and we're Tyrants of Chaos now. So, yeah,
you are, and you were one of the hardest working bands I know, because not only are you guys one of my favorite bands, you're also close personal friends of mine, and we hang a lot, and it's such a pleasure for me to come down Friday nights, and you guys have this huge jam hall, and really for me, it's like hearing a free live stadium quality concert every Friday night, and. But you guys, you practice every week without fail, and a lot of bands, when they've been together for a while, they'll maybe learn a new song here and there, but you guys are constantly writing, and you're constantly honing your craft. You're constantly in the studio. And the result, of course, is an album that we're going to talk about here right away. And what is it that drives you? And maybe Ryan, I'll ask you this: what is it that drives you to just keep going with it? What is it about metal that just ignites this passion in you?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, thanks for putting me on the spot. But I mean, metal to me has always been, you know, one of my favorites to drum, because obviously, yes, you play rock, country, jazz. There's different feels and stuff like that. For me to come in with these guys here on a Friday night, work on new songs, do what we can on originals and writing all the time, it just gives me, you know, I'll give myself for about 20 minutes in there. I'm getting all sweaty, and it's like everyone's kind of getting in the feel of this. And then all of a sudden we got a hook and potatoes going on the, like some with Eric and Curtis coming up with a riff, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hang on, there's something there. Let's build on this. And that's the feeling that I've always wanted. It gives me the more feeling than almost playing live for an audience, to be working in the studio, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's something that we can build on. And it's like, there you go, here we go, right? And that's the feeling I've always wanted, right? And that's why I like to play metal, because the faster the better. Not really, but as long as you have a hook, something that will get people to put their foot on the ground and keep time to your song, is the best feeling ever for me.
I would imagine something about your brand of metal. It's not just loud thrash, you know, energy. It's, you know, there's a melody, and there's a, you can, you know, it makes you want to dance, and the lyrics are memorable. Like, you know what I mean? And I remember the first time I saw you guys, I was so blown away. And it's still to this day my favorite part of coming to watch you guys, because when that sound kicks in, the look on people's faces, I literally, I don't even look at you. I turn around and I just like to catch the because people are like, holy hell, what's happening right now? You know, what are you listening to right now? And so it's this loud, hard driving metal, but yet it's melodic, and it sounds crystal clear, and your sound is impeccable. And it's, you know, there's just, you know, and actually, I'm just gonna, there's some other fans that are agreeing with me that are popping in, so I'm gonna get to a few of those right now. Shauna Lorraine, who you guys all know, I'm sure, local musician.
Hey, Shauna.
Hey, Shauna. Yeah, she's saying hello. And we did mention earlier that we're going to present an opportunity for local fans to be in the next Tyrants of Chaos video. And so there's a few people popping in for that. That, of course, is going to be shot next Saturday, July 9th.
That's right.
And Shauna is definitely, she's casting her iron in. She said she would love to help support you and be in the video.
Cool.
So thank you, Shauna, for that. Oh, my.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're in, Shauna. So my good friend Fabi Boucher, she's a great supporter of the show and a personal friend of mine. She's just saying hi, Kelly's looking forward to watching this for a while. Fabi's, I think, become a new fan of yours. You know, just over some of the videos that we've shown the last couple of weeks. Joey Deckley's in the house.
Joey.
Hey.
Another Joey.
Joey Bloody Noisy Stickley. I think Joey should be in the video for sure.
I think.
Andy Christ is in the house. Andy's another musician, a good fan of the show. I think he's on the videos. Hi, Andy. And Marlene Lynch is in the house. Marlene wants to be part of the video. Hi, Marlene. Good to see you, my friend. Fabi Boucher is saying, you guys are making me laugh. Kelly Barrett, you have an admirer. Yes, in 15 years? I don't know what that means. And Alex Thompson is saying, turn it down for God's sake, you guys.
Alex.
Never.
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, keep dropping your comments. We're going to choose a few people to be in the video. I'm going to be there. The Tyrants and a bunch of other people are going to be there. It's going to be a super great time. So feel free, if you're watching, to drop a comment in, and we'll make that happen. Yeah. So you guys have recently have gotten some new management. Curtis, did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, well, we're working with the Celestia agency in Calgary, and she's been kind of guiding us and helping us out with some stuff that, you know, for us, we're busy with work and everything like that. So a lot of stuff that is behind the scenes, it's hard for us to take care of. She's been doing for us, and so we really appreciate that. And you know, she's getting us in touch with the right people and moving forward. And so we're looking forward to keeping that going and heading in that direction. So it's pushing us to work our asses off a little more too. So yeah, deadlines and stuff, right? Yeah. So it's all good.
Right. So Eric, why don't you lead us into the conversation about the new album? Tell us a bit about it.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be a real headbanger of an album, I think. I'm pretty excited to get this one out. It's been in the making for about a year.
Yeah.
We finished recording it a little while ago, but it's just getting everything else ready for it, doing the music videos, production, album credits. Just there's so many moving pieces to really put a record together and to put it out. So we've shot 2 music videos now. We've got another 2 that are going to be in the works. There's the one next week that we're shooting as well. Goal is to do 1 music video, well, for every song on the record, really, because I mean everything's such a visual nowadays that it makes sense to just pummel the audience or the internet with content, really, because people want to watch it. That's what they want. But I mean, musically, it's aggressive, it's musical, it's fast, it's got hooks, it's got like really cool topics. Some of my favorite songs like TOC or Slay the Hostages, which we're shooting the music video for, on the surface, it sounds like, going to war and killing people, war crimes, that kind of stuff. But it's really just all about preparing for a show, going into battle, basically entertaining the audience.
Right.
Slaying the hostages, which is the audience, essentially.
Good metaphor. That's a very cool metaphor for
yeah.
radio station. Yeah, 100%.
Sonically, it sounds really good too. I think we really brought it in the studio. We took the time to get all the tones and everything dialed in. So sonically, yeah, it's going to sound really nice. It's probably going to be the best sounding record we've done yet.
It sounds good.
Yeah, we've definitely put the time in on this one. 10 tracks, about 45 minutes long.
Nice.
So she's full length, and I think everyone's going to love it.
Right on. Thanks, Eric. Okay, so Phil, tell the people what my favorite song off that album is.
I think it's Lucky Dog, is it not?
Yeah. Can you tell me what the inspiration behind that was?
Say that again, sorry.
Can you tell me what the inspiration behind that song was?
Eric had kind of put most of the music together already. And, I like to, when I come up with lyrics, like usually the music is written first and then I'll come up with some kind of something off the top of my head. I don't know. But I know I read a lot. So my topics that I like to cover range from all across the board. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that I'm interested in, and I'll write about it. And Curtis is a big NASCAR fan. He's always talking about the events and stuff like that. And I'm not much of a car guy myself. Like I'm not a mechanic at all. I can put gas in the car and check the oil. It's about it, right? But it's a topic that I normally wouldn't write about, but I know it's a passion of Kurt's, right? Like he's always talking about NASCAR, and he tries to explain a bit of it to us, like as if somebody's explaining football to somebody, right? And I'm a bit of a nerd, so I listen full-heartedly and take it all in, and it makes sense now. I know why they have stadiums with 100,000 people in them, watching. So. So we needed lyrics for a song, and the song that Eric had written, it was the way I described it was very kind of 80s style, almost radio friendly, almost like Danger Zone, Highway Through the Danger Zone kind of feel to it, right? And so I just started researching NASCAR terms. I literally just went on the internet, looked up slang, looked up terminology, looked up all this stuff. And so just built lyrics around using a lot of NASCAR slang, references to that old movie Days of Thunder,
right?
Stuff like that. And I just made a fun fantasy story about a NASCAR, kind of like Red Barchetta by Rush, same kind of feel.
Phil, that's funny.
Star,
that's funny you should say that. I was listening to you guys at the Jam Hall a couple of weeks ago, and you did that song, and I was actually thinking of Little Red Barchetta, because it has the same sort of feel that when you listen to that song, you kind of get the sense of how it might be to be in a car going fast. Like it gives you that same sensation as Little Red Barchetta does, where you're racing down the highway, and
And I mean, there's no doubt about it. You know, the combustion engine and automotives are ingrained in Western culture, right? So it's a major passion for a lot of people. So a lot of bands have songs about racing and cars, and I figured, why don't we do one? It's fun. It's just, like I said, I'll write about anything. I'm a nerd. I like to write stuff down. So like, it's a perfect opportunity to write some cool lyrics about a cool topic, and it's radio friendly. You know, maybe NASCAR will pick it up.
Great, actually, the album is radio friendly. Like, you know, and I think that's kind of a good thing sometimes on an album to have a song that, you know, it just has that sort of, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite. And you guys play it for me every time when I'm coming, when I play. And then I go home with this 800 horses in my head for the whole night.
Yeah, and it's got that hook that Ryan was talking about earlier. It hooks you in, and by the time you're going to bed that night, you keep hearing that in your head, and that's what we want to do, because it gets people coming back for more, right?
100%. Well, remember for the first time, I kept saying, "What's that? Play that 800 horses song."
And that's and you know, you might not know the song title, you might not know, but you know that little part of it.
You do, yeah.
And so there you go, right? So
Great, awesome. So Ryan, here's a question for you. So Andy Christ is asking, what is better, a big imposing drum kit, a wall of amps, or both?
Ooh, nice one.
All the above.
like a Neil Peart kit?
Well, for me, it's show the part with what your drums. You play every piece of your kit if you need a big drum kit. If not, be simple, right? But do you want a wall of sound around you with the amps and stuff? Damn right. I mean, that's going to help me to sound better when I'm tinkering around on whatever, right? So a big drum kit is not really needed. I mean, I play on a five piece, but I definitely have a lot of cymbals. But if you're not playing all your drum parts, for me, it's more like to pull back a little bit, to be a little bit of flashy, throw a little bit of stick twirls. Do I want to have 8 tom-toms in front of me? No, I want to be able to be seen, and that these guys in front of me with their wall of sound that we have all the time, that's what I want. I want to be crystal clear and, you know, drive everyone to the heart with guitars and bass and drums in behind, right? So am I the leader as a heartbeat of the band? I'm going to say maybe, but no, these guys might have a different idea, but that's what I like, is a wall of sound. I want to hear the guitars. I want to hear every piece of it. If I have too much stuff, there's no room for me to be flashy, and a big drum kit is not needed at all. Like a double bass kit, nah, don't. It takes up too much space. Wherever you play, you never have a chance to even set those up anyways, right? So
a lot of the time, you don't have enough room for something that big. And luckily, someone like you can make a 5-piece kit sound like a 10-piece kit. So, you know, you got to ask the question, is that really needed?
Right.
It's not needed.
I love your answer, Ryan. I love your answer, because I love, one of the most impressive things about watching you as a drummer is that flash drumming. Like,
well,
that's
I can't play that well, so if I can definitely twirl a drum. I can definitely twirl a drumstick and throw some sticks in the air, and then people are like, "Wow, this guy's a wicked drummer." And then when I mess up on my beating or my timing, then it kind of covers up a little bit, right? So.
Well, I think there are a lot of people, and you're being sarcastic. Well, a lot of us would argue with you about whether you're a great drummer or not. But I like that, Ryan, because I really do think that people hear with their eyes. Like I really do. I believe that, and that's one thing about you guys. When you go to see your show, I remember the first time I saw you, like in a club, I was almost and then I went and saw you personally in your jam hall. I was almost intimidated by you guys, because you guys look great. You look the part. You sound the part. And this is even at a rehearsal, and I've been to a ton of your rehearsals, and it's not here and there that this happens. It's every song, every night at every rehearsal. You guys are giving 110%. There's theatrics kind of going on stage. There's choreography of sorts going on. Heads are flying around, hairs, and I think, and when I first saw that, I thought, wow, these guys are like, holy crap. I was sorry for you, Phil, but you know what? You got those screams, so you know what? Nothing better than Phil throwing his head back and wailing like no. But you guys have the whole package. You have the, you're seasoned musicians. You have the talent. You have the look. And then I met you guys off stage, and you're all just like really sweet guys.
Well, thank you.
Which I think is interesting because you have that.
We're all cat people, so
Yeah.
we got a bunch of cats.
On the air a little while ago. You're all cat people. How many cats between you all?
Like a dozen or something. I don't know.
I think you're 16 or something like that between us.
Between the lot of you, eh? Right on. Kevin Christensen's in the house. He's
Hey, Kev, what's going on?
You guys know him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Kurt says, Kurt, you the man. Kurt, you the man. Rock on, buddy.
Thanks, brother.
Andy Christ is mentioning a Steve Riley kit. I don't know if that's what he plays or. And Alex is saying 2 and 4, Ryan, 2 and 4.
4, yes, that's about all I do. But no, it's funny, like you see a lot of bands here in town or wherever. Like a lot of times where we have to play, you're minimal on the stage setup. And I know like there's been a few times. Like Eric and me personally have talked a lot about our drum kits that that he has at his house, mine and stuff. How do we minimize stuff but have the special effects? So mine's a lot of times I have a wave pad on the side that I can have triggers different sounds. Yes, I do have 10 cowbells, but I don't have any set up for Tyrants of Chaos. So those are gone. Certain cymbals that I use, Eric helps me with, get the right sound of different chinas that we want to use, different kind of cymbal setups, which is a big thing. Then you can always, improve on your sound with the limited stuff that you have, right? So Steve Riley kit, yes, yeah, that for sure. I mean, Steve Riley was a different drummer back in the day, and now he plays on a lot smaller kit, right? So I'm always trying to bring my kit down to be smaller to fit in, to have these guys running around me, room for them to come right up to me on the cymbal so I can, give them the these or a stick twiddle, and give, air, like points. And that's more of a visual than having a monster kit. Like those days are way over. It's not 1987, right? So
and I know how to play. You don't need all the bells. I think maybe those are for drummers who kind of need to fill in maybe something they might be lacking with all the bells and whistles, but when you can really play, you don't need that. And Curtis, a question for you. I was wondering, in your opinion, what makes a good metal song? Like, just in your opinion, what is it that makes a memorable metal song?
Well, for me, it's something like I like something that's melodic and it's got a good driving beat to it. I'm not. I don't like a lot of screamo vocals, right? So I like the melodic vocals and stuff like that. And something that just hits me the right way where I can just bang my head and makes me move, and that's kind of what I like, right? I'm not personally into like big timing changes and all that kind of stuff, right? Where it's kind of going all over the place and stuff. Yeah.
And Eric, I would ask you the same question.
Was that for me?
Yeah.
What do you think is a great metal song or a great song?
If it makes the hair on my arm stand up, that's telling me that it's doing something right.
Yeah.
Something that triggers a feeling on the inside of you. Metal has always done it for me, but every now and again I'll hear like an Adele song or something that does it for me because it just a super talented artist is gonna trigger an emotion in you. But metal has just always been something for me because it just makes me feel better when I'm listening to it. And after, people will say, how do you listen to that? It's like, I don't know. How do you not?
How do you not? Yeah.
Exactly. You can get so much aggression out of yourself just listening to it, sitting there, not even doing anything. A lot of guys will put it on to go like push weight at the gym. So it's just, it's just awesome. I love metal. I've always loved metal. If it's got a driving beat and a wicked riff, that's just kind of where it all starts for me. It all starts with a really good guitar riff, I think. You got a great riff, a good drum beat, and a cool vocal melody going. Yeah, you're going to do really well.
Right. And I'm running if Sean's still in the house or not. I'm not sure, but I remember this story the first time I saw you guys, not at a club, but when I was invited down to your jam hall, and I came in and you were doing the last song of that set before you took a break. And I was watching Sean, and I like these crazy bass lines, and I was just like blown away by it. And then you guys took a break, and I said, Sean, that was a crazy bass line. And he kind of looked at me like, thanks, but kind of, and then I watched the rest of the set and realized, oh, they're all crazy bass lines. I must have come off sounding like oh, they're all crazy bass lines. But that's the thing I love about the Tyrants is there's no dead weight in this show. Like there is no dead weight in the band amongst the members. You know what I mean? There's not, some bands you'll have like this, the singer's maybe the standout person, or they've got a good guitar player and then passable players. But in the Tyrants of Chaos, everybody is just seasoned and smoking hot at what they do. Like, and to have the 2 guitar rhythm section.
It works good together. Yeah.
I mean, you're really only as good as your weakest link too.
Yeah.
So if you got a guy that's not pulling the weight, that's just, you're not going to level up beyond there. No matter how good anybody else is.
And I've noticed, like, since this group got together, it's like just a personal, we've all pushed ourselves to be better players, right? Like, I know, like, when we and Eric first got together, I'd look at him and I'd go, what the hell are you playing?
I'd be the same.
And he'd look at me and go, but now we kind of work really well with each other, right? And it's a good sound because we're 2 totally different guitar players that are like trying to make it work together, right?
And what the great thing about that is we can fill like pretty specific gaps that the other guy maybe isn't really capable of doing, which is awesome because then it gives us the ability to cover like such a vast spectrum of music if we're playing cover music or other people's material or even just writing.
Yeah.
We've got fewer limitations than we've ever had. So it's a pretty nice thing.
Yeah.
Great. And so maybe I'll ask you this question, Ryan. Do you have any upcoming gigs where people can come out and see you locally?
Why do I get all these questions?
Anybody can answer.
That's okay. I mean, we do have a few things in line. I mean, we are trying to, we're really stuck right now trying to finalize the CD, which is coming out next week or in production next week. And then we have, when's our next show? I don't even know.
Well, there's the local green and yellow group.
Oh yeah, green and yellow on the 22nd of July.
Friday.
But we're trying to not play too much right at the moment because we're trying to finalize with management. We do have a promotional company that we're talking to now that we have to sign the dotted line with these guys. So we're kind of waiting for these videos to get done and everything else done, merch, a few other things, and then we're kind of pushing. So we haven't really booked ourselves too solid in behind, for shows as of now, but we will be doing some more shows for sure.
There'll be a CD release soon anyway.
Once
no date finalized, but it'll be coming down the line soon enough, right?
So we got a little breather. We want to kind of push probably into more of the fall, try to finalize all this stuff, but now our heads are scrambling, trying to get stuff as soon as we're done the interview tonight, try to get stuff down to our management group. This kind of stuff, they want this, that, but it has to be done. So it's hard to kind of book shows in right at the moment. So we're a little thin, but.
Right. Well, there is one date at the Green Chili Cook-Off, and so I'm going to definitely post that on my Facebook and on the station site here, so people who want to come and see.
That's like a great weekend thing, for you want to go out for the weekend and camp and chill out and stuff. It's pretty good.
Sean just talks back. I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah, very, very diversified event for lots of different bands and music, comedy, and stuff like that too. So
yeah, there's food trucks and different bands and camping and
yeah, it'll be really good.
Right.
And we'd like to help those guys out too quite a bit because they've helped us out on last year on the 80s show. They've always been there for us. So for us to go play for the Green Yellow group again too, for sure, like Sean would say, is a great thing for us to do.
Yeah.
Saki.
Sean's back.
Yeah, he's all over the house.
Bogart and that thing.
But yeah, so yeah, we love that group. They've helped us out a lot, and we always there for our family that are with us to play shows and do whatever we can for them, right? So we do have another thing, something in September. But I mean, late in the fall, we'll get going here after we get kind of finalize our CD and such forth.
Because it's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into this. It's not like you just send off the songs and wait for it to happen. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of work.
Yeah.
Sorry, that Sean is cracking me up. So when the album comes out, where can fans find it? Where will we be able to find it when it comes out?
It's going to be up on Spotify. You're going to be able to buy it directly from us. We're going to do a limited run on CDs. So get them while they last, because they won't be going back into production. After that, it's just going to be basically all online. You're going to be able to watch us on YouTube. We'll have, like I was saying earlier, we're going to try and put up a music video for every song on the album. We'll do a live stream of the album on YouTube as well. And I'm not sure where else, like CD Baby.
CD Baby, and there's a couple other ones,
Right.
Bandcamp.
Right. So most of the usual social media platforms.
Yeah, everything everybody already knows.
Right. And I think Sean there was mentioning that there may be some kind of a tour coming up. What's the matter, Sean? Cat got your tongue?
Yeah, we'll see once we have the CDs out and all these T's are crossed and I's are dotted. We'll see. You never know. Maybe a tour down the road.
Yeah, our big thing is always I think for what we've always talked about is eventually where before COVID was a chance to say, let's go to do a little tour in Europe, which we all want to do eventually, but we'll see what happens. Things are a little different nowadays.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we can get over there to say, this is something that I can, dot my I, say I did that for once in my career as a musician, would be great. And I think it'd be, they're pushing us a little bit over there with the management and stuff, saying, into Germany and stuff like that, that they really appreciate our kind of style of music, which is kind of influenced from a lot over on the UK end back in the original kind of days where we started. And we kind of still keeping that going here. Here comes another cat here. The cat's looking at Saki over here. Yeah, get out of here.
I think your music would go over amazing in Germany. So I'm not surprised that management is talking about Germany, because
and that's the big thing, right? Like ours is like, we don't really want to promote like our published CDs as much as like normally everything now is on digital versions for buying and stuff like that. But in Europe, which is weird, they still are really high into the CD sales, which it is a little bit weird. Here comes Ozzy right here for a little bit of visit with Saki. So hopefully we'll see what happens. I mean, just the world's a little funny right now, but that's our main goal is for myself is to say, hey, let's go do a little tour over there, say we did it, and then do what we can here in Canada and into the US or whatever we need to do.
Right. Wouldn't that be amazing to go to Germany and an experience? Yeah. So one question here before we go. Sean Tiedeman's in the house.
Sean.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Sean, of course, does an amazing Kiss tribute.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean. Good to see you here. And there was a question here from Andy Christ. Anybody can answer this. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, whoever wants to answer, go ahead. So Andy says, how did you pick the first song on your album for video treatment?
Eric.
How did we pick the first song for video treatment?
Yeah. What influenced your choice in song to make a video of?
Oh, well, the first video that's coming out, the first single is also going to be the first track on the record too. And I pushed to have this be the opening track because, we've done like a kind of a musical intro thing on an album before, but this one starts with just a vocal, which I think would be really catching to everybody's ear because everybody has a voice. Like there's so many great songs that just start with just a vocal. And I mean, everyone can relate to that. And we've got that this time around. So it's like, what a great song to open the record with, and what a great song to shoot a first video for too. I mean, it's like the theme on it is it's really about playing a show, and that's what the video is all about. I mean, it's about playing a show. It's about going into battle, and it's just a headbanger. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So can't wait to put that one out. It looks really good.
Yeah, videos.
I love the analogy of going to battle and going to blow people's minds on stage.
And that's one thing we should mention too. We got a couple of videographers that work for us or with us, Dylan Drayson and Carrie Weeb. We've got a couple of lyrical videos in the pocket, and we do have TLC done, right? Is that right? Yeah, TLC's done. And then this weekend coming up on July 9th at the studio, we're shooting a real crazy video, which is going to be Slay the Hostages, and that'll be our other one, right? So then we only have 6 more to go. Yeah. And someone's got to pay for all those yet. So yeah, we might have to start digging because those are pretty expensive. But thanks to Dylan and definitely Carrie Weeb. And there's a lot of other people we would love to thank too, like Saki and Toby and you, Kelly, and a bunch of other people. Like
all the cats.
We wouldn't get too far without a lot of help that you guys are doing for us, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, and it's so easy to promote something that you feel passionate about. And I feel passionate about you guys, and I fully expect someday to watch you guys, grabbing a Juno Award or grabbing some type of, I really expect that for you guys because you're that good. That's why you're on the show. I'm proud to call you guys friends, and I just can't wait to see what's coming down the road for you guys. And
Cool.
Let us know when the new videos come out. Let us know when the album is ready for public consumption, and I will
Definitely.
get that up and we'll share that.
We'll date here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big party.
Yes, let me know about that one for sure.
Yeah.
Will ya? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I can't thank you enough. Toby, by the way, who is she going to come up? He was.
She can't come out. She's between my legs. I don't get to say that very often, but yeah.
And just for the record, Ruby is Ryan's fiance, so it makes sense that she's down there.
That's why I'm smiling so much.
Yeah, why are you smiling down there, Ryan? Right on, you guys. I just thank you so much for coming down. This has been an absolute blast, and I look forward to the album coming out. I look forward
Thank
to
you for having us, Kelly.
Thanks
Definitely.
again, Kelly. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
my pleasure. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Thanks for all the pictures that you've taken, because there's amazing pictures that you have taken of us. So thanks.
My pleasure. Well, it's good subjects make for good pictures. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget, next Sunday, Jeff Neal from Street Heart will be here. So you're not going to want to miss that. Until we see you then, take care of each other, be safe and sane, and be nice to each other. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Cheers.